stomach just made a noise. Great.
Oh boy, here we are.
Here we are with all of our digestive issues. I'm Amy.
I'm Whitney, and we are
On the Haunt,
a paranormal comedy podcast. We were just talking about how we've just recently watched The Most Hated Man on the Internet. That's going to be old by the time this comes out.
Is.
But, if you haven't watched it, you should. It's pretty interesting.
I hate him.
I hated him. Yeah,
I didn't
for
even
sure.
know he existed.
Me
before
neither.
I watched it. But
I
now
never
hate
heard
him.
of that website, but how despicable. So
Very.
he got his comeuppance. Did he?
Uh,
No, I can't remember what happened to him. Did he go to jail?
but not for very long though.
Yeah.
They were only able to get him on.
Yeah. Ugh.
I can't remember what.
Terrible.
Like hacking or something.
I know.
Conspiracy crap. Yeah.
The worst.
The absolute
Just be
worst.
nice,
Yeah.
people. Gosh.
Don't extort others for
No. It's like,
for any reason, let
no.
alone for your own gain. Gross.
and the fact that they were like breaking into people's stuff is,
yeah.
that's so scary. But the way they were doing it, I was like, this is back in the early days of the internet, so maybe people fell for that more often then. Because nowadays you'd be like, excuse me, what? You want me to do what? You
Well,
want
like
me to...
me, I just got a text about postal reminder. The package cannot be delivered due to the wrong address. Please change it immediately. We'll
Yeah.
deliver. Yeah, I'm not giving you my address.
No.
The postal service doesn't have my phone number.
They
first of
know
all.
your address also.
Yes,
it's like
exactly.
what they do. It's literally what they do.
Their job.
Right.
Oh my God, yesterday I was on a walk. It was so hot, so I didn't go for too long. But the garbage truck drove by me, which is great when it's 1,000,000 degrees outside. Ugh. But I was walking like towards the highway, and then I went all the way to the highway and then came back. And he was just coming out of the subdivision. It was just by my house. And he stopped. He's like, "Man, can we hire you? You're really fast." I'm like, how much walking is involved in trash services? But no, thank you.
It can't be much.
Yeah. Can you please, God love you, man, but can you please drive away? You're talking to me in 100-degree weather in your garbage truck.
We don't trust people.
No,
okay?
we really don't.
So we're just assuming the worst about everyone.
Yeah, no.
Oh my
You
gosh.
got any candy in there?
You got a kitchen?
Still not coming in. All right, shall we just jump in? This is our third one of the day. We're white.
Let's do it.
And I need to run to Walgreens if that's okay.
Yes.
They stop harassing me about I had it refilled just yesterday, and now they're already like, pick it up or else.
Yeah, we're gonna restock
Yeah.
it. It's like, screw you.
And then your insurance may not. Blah, 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 blah. All right, so I'm going to talk about haunted technology.
Okay.
Although now that I look at this article, I don't know that it's really about anything haunted or just about like the creepy people in the world, but whatever.
Well,
Sometimes
that's
people
haunting.
are the scariest things of all. So I'm going to start out with an article from the BBC.
You're so legit.
I
with
have
your-
been lately, man.
The BBC.
This is an article from 2016, so all the
what's your last-
technology will be totally dated.
So was your last article?
By Alex Krotowski.
Okay.
It says, it wasn't late that Thursday night when the lights in my house started dancing. I also got this idea from a recent episode of American Horror Stories.
Nice.
Where she had like, I think I actually mentioned that maybe in the last episode, where she had like the Ring doorbell thing and like ghosts were appearing on it.
Ew.
So, but they thought they were real people.
Okay, maybe I need to watch that then. It sounds...
Yeah. And then this week's episode was about like the urban legend with the headlights flashing. It's pretty good. Had Bella Thorne. She's completely unrecognizable these days.
Yeah.
But,
That's scary.
yeah.
Remember the movie Urban Legends?
Yes, I do.
It was
Joshua Jackson with his, I think he had real blonde hair in there. He
That
died
was a
pretty
great-
early on. Spoiler alert.
Great movie, though.
It
Really
was
loved
great,
it back
yes.
then.
It says, I was home alone, just about to finish work and start making dinner when the lights suddenly turned on. Then they flicked off
Were
and
you
on
not?
again.
Were you in the dark making tea?
Yeah. Cycling from red to green to
What?
a cold, harsh blue.
What?
Yeah, that's weird.
And impossible.
Yeah, unless you have like those LED lights like Carter has in his room that change colors.
These?
Yes. Now, I don't believe in ghosts, but I am particularly susceptible to a good ghost story. I have a terrible fear of the dark that is in stark contrast to my other wise, rational, empirical beliefs.
I also have a fear of the dark.
I do too. I can't help but feel the icy bolt of my automatic nervous system. No. Autonomic nervous system kicking into action when thinking about being threatened by the supernatural.
Is that like
this guy's a great
survival?
writer. I blame a misspent youth watching psychological thrillers about, we were all there.
Same.
And a stepbrother who was almost as playfully sadistic as the monsters in the films.
Ooh.
Not long after Nightmare on Elm Street came out on VHS, John used his new Walkman to record a bit of Freddy Krueger off the TV and set up a timer on the tape player.
That's just mean.
Slipped it under the bed with the volume on high and waited for my 2 a.m. wake-up call from a demon himself.
Not cool.
What a terrible stepbrother.
Yeah, really.
John never channeled the occult to my knowledge, but he liberally applied technology to make it seem like he had. I didn't sleep for a week. That same year, Electric Dreams arrived in cinemas. I'm not familiar with that one.
Me neither.
It featured a schlocky love triangle that pitted man against machine. Ooh, remember the movie Maximum Overdrive?
I don't know if I saw that.
Oh, it's a great movie. I think it's Stephen King.
Okay.
It's really where all the machines
come to life,
basically. But it was made in the 80s. Yeah. So think it's like soda machines pelting people to death with cans of soda and lawnmowers running over people. Scared the crap out of me.
I mean, it could honestly be our lives one day.
So let's see. Blah, blah, blah. PCs were the new weird boxes everyone was talking about. I remember those. You could go to Radio Shack and get it.
It's so big. You have to take 2 cards to get your PC outside.
Says everyone was talking about it, but few people actually understood.
Radio
I
Shack.
still don't understand how could anything
It's
works.
amazing.
It really is. I'm grateful for it. I love it. I'm using it right now to read this online article to you, but I don't understand it. Like, how did this pop up?
Do you remember Circuit City?
Yeah. And Best Buy? Or is that still a thing?
Remember Best Buy? They're still around.
I think they closed a lot of them. It might have been.
Circuit City was so funny. Well, we had a Radio
Shack still a thing?
I don't think so, because there was one in Troy.
Yeah.
And then it, went the way of the Blockbuster.
It's a cell phone place now. Yeah, they get right next to Little Caesars. Delicious.
I did a weird eyebrow
thing.
Hey.
I've been craving their thin crust.
Oh, I love pizza.
You seen the commercial or the guy skipping the thin crust across the lake?
No. We don't have TV.
Oh. We have Hulu, so for some reason it's just the same ads 500
over and over.
times. Yeah.
I know. It's the worst.
And the one with the girl, if this is the technology you want, then it's right here in your phone. Oh my God,
have Hulu Live
all the time. Yeah.
Okay, that must be why. Because I don't have commercials, but I don't have Hulu Live.
We have Hulu Live.
Yeah.
Jamie's a cheapskate.
Well, I guess we do actually have TV. We just never watch it because Granny has it. If we didn't have that. Hulu Live is really good, though. It's really beneficial for
Well, we have it because we watch the news.
Right. Yeah.
And he likes it from his sports
stuff. Sports balls.
Yeah. So anyways, when computers do things we don't expect, it's only natural we would ask why.
What? Why?
That simple question is so revealing of so many of the problems we have in our relationship with technology, says Tobias Revel of Haunted Machines. We at once express our lack of technical understanding for how things work, but we also put agency and responsibility into the thing. We assume the thing is somehow responsible for the misfortune you're now experiencing. We imply that they know what we're doing. Well, they're listening.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. That is the thing that's listening was programmed by a human. Mm-hmm. So,
did you turn off Hey Siri on your phone?
I don't know. Maybe, since it didn't just answer. Was I supposed to?
Well, I did, because it literally is just constantly listening for you to say Hey Siri, and otherwise
Hey Siri. Oh nope, it's on.
Yeah, I mean that's creepy though,
Should I
right?
turn it off?
I did. So that if I want Siri, I just push the button.
Yeah.
I mean, Hey Siri is beneficial.
Yeah.
I see the benefits, but then it's that's just literally listening to you all the time.
I'm super boring, so whatever.
Right. When I said something about suicide one time, not saying I want to commit suicide, but it came up and was the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, and you're
it
weird.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Well,
nice.
that stuff happens all the time.
That's beneficial also, but please don't listen to me. It's creepy.
Okay, I feel like this whole article is just about how people who don't understand things blame it on whatever. We aren't the first to let ourselves believe that artifacts can be taken over. The 10th century Japan, man-made things were thought to gain spirit once they've been used for 100 years.
Why 100?
I don't know.
Interesting.
Nice round number, I guess.
They take like human. Okay, interesting.
If the owners had mistreated them, the objects would malevolently haunt them.
Well, that's
Yes.
take care of your
More
stuff.
recently, the telephone, radio, and television entered common use as spiritualism was gaining ground, and we wondered what else was being pulled into these boxes that extracted voices out of the air. Well, I'm sure that was when you were like,
Yes.
saw the first TV. Like, whoa, what is this new phenomenal thing that's got like pictures on it? Moving
pictures. Yeah, I mean, really, or a radio even.
Yes.
There's a voice coming out of this box.
Spirit guides would connect clients with Benjamin Franklin and Alexander Graham Bell.
They actually invented the internet
Yes.
just after death.
The root of the supernatural and haunting is that there's no apparent connection between cause and effect, says Ravel. The ghostly image, blah, 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 we get it. It comes down to trust. But the machines are not under their own control. They don't have agency. So we really need to look more closely at who's possessing these objects. When televisions are in our home, people were worried they would watch us after we turned off the lights. Now technology companies have created devices that do just that.
Yeah.
Like you always see like people that hack into like people's baby monitors.
Your
and-
Ring videos
or your Ring
inside
video,
your house. Kyle will not get Simply Safe because of that.
Yeah. It says we are increasingly inviting smart objects in without truly understanding what's in their literal and figurative black boxes. Because they're internet enabled, they're ripe for possession. In our rush to put a chip in everything, we're putting them into a system that's frail and fragile. If a smart home starts to go wrong, that becomes very sinister and dangerous.
Yeah, and there are people who like don't even have like light switches.
Right.
You know, it's all connected to like a device,
Yes.
which is weird.
Now I'm going to pop over to Vice.
Yes.
I watch a lot of stuff on Vice. This is by Victoria Turk.
Okay.
Oh, that's from 2015. Oh, way back.
Well, it doesn't seem like that long ago.
No. Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic, goes sci-fi author Arthur C. Clarke's oft-quoted third law. But is that a good thing? Is the apparent magic of new technologies a proof of their prowess or more an indicator of our ignorance of how things work? The latter, for sure.
Always.
In my case, anyways.
Yeah.
What happens when the magic isn't a benevolent sorcerer, but an unwelcome ghost haunting our devices? This is the theme for an event within the upcoming, well, there's nothing upcoming because it's from 2015.
The old.
But the old conference or whatever it was. Oh, it was a conference in Manchester called Future Everything Conference.
Oh.
Called Haunted Machines. Says we sort of noticed a trend for people to explain things they couldn't technically comprehend or understand, and that we didn't have the vocabulary for, using mythological or fictional magic terminology. And it's not an entirely new idea. Clarke's third law appeared in 1973. Even Windows 95 had a setup wizard.
Yeah, it was that little
Yes.
paperclip jerk.
But Ravel reckons it's never been more severe. From a design perspective, it's become acceptable to make things illegible to users. He said, referencing Apple's slogan, "It just works." Which is interesting if you think about it. Or, don't worry about it. It just works.
Yeah. Don't learn too much about
Right.
this.
And David Rose's 2013 design book, Enchanted Objects, as well as the ethereal connotations of names for new tech like the cloud. I still don't understand the cloud. I don't understand. I'm glad everything goes into it, but I will never understand that. So maybe it is magic. The magic that they're so suspicious of is even more evident in the Internet of Things. Nest's smart thermostat was one of the first to open consumers' homes to the Internet of Things.
That's
and
weird.
as such has become something of a symbol for smart objects. Nest is like the poster boy for the horror of the haunted home.
And I can see the benefits of that.
Yeah.
But also, like, I don't want someone to be able to hack in, and I don't know why anyone would do that, but still weird. Yeah. Or if it goes wrong, like what if it just starts changing on its own?
It says we're essentially letting very vulnerable systems into our home. Mm-hmm. Yeah, obviously. And even when there aren't antagonistic forces breaking in, these devices can become specters in the home. Kane recalled a man who forgot his drop cam camera was filming him even when he took his clothes off. So your smart TV is always listening. And you think now in the day and age of Zoom and FaceTime, I'm always paranoid about that.
Yeah, Kyle always has a sticker over his camera.
Yeah, I never understand people who take their phones in the bathroom with them. I'm like, no, what if... that is like my biggest fear, to like accidentally go live or something and not... Because people have done that before. I remember one time my friend Lauren, I mean, she was just driving in her car, but I'm like, you're on Facebook Live driving. She's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's not... Because it's just a little... icon you click
right at the top too.
Yeah, so it's not hard to do.
No,
that's the true,
the true
scary, scary aspect of this.
You're just on the toilet.
Then, of course, there's government surveillance by the NSA and its counterparts, which the curator singled out as a particular type of haunting. And think about it too. That is so cyber attacks are run rampant. That is the number one way to hit.
Oh my God, yeah.
Our enemies in other countries.
Our neighbors have had their bank account broken into now 15 times.
Yeah.
Anytime a dime gets put back in their bank account, it's immediately taken by someone.
Well, I got a Facebook request today from a coworker that passed away 2 weeks ago.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was like, seriously?
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? Or a former coworker. Did I say coworker?
Well, what was I watching the other day that the people would go to cemeteries and find names, and there's something I was just watching and I was like, oh, that is a really morbid
Well, that was
way.
how they would get Social Security numbers and stuff back in the day. Yeah, or identities. That's how con
makes sense.
People would steal.
What was I watching? Because it was someone that was needing to get fake IDs. I don't know. Anyway.
Did you not get the wild transfer?
What, how you pull? So great. I said that to Kyle the other day and he's like, huh? Please watch Inventing Anna.
All right. That's all I got. I don't know. I guess the moral of the story is just be careful with the technology you bring into your house.
Yes.
But it does, because there is that line too. If you think about any type of paranormal investigation shows you use, they all use some sort of technology. We need a spirit box, by the way. After watching all these episodes of
I know.
We've got to get a spirit box.
How much they can't be that much.
I can't imagine. It's like a radio thing.
Oh, they're so creepy though.
They are. We need one.
And it's just
where are we going to take it? We don't need. We have not been on a ghost hunt in a really long time.
I know.
We need to go.
Yeah,
Sage wants to go on the trolley haunted tour too. So I thought, well, it'll be usually by the time her birthday rolls up, around the very beginning of October, it's a lot cooler. So maybe I'll do that with her. That'd be fun. She's my family, so obviously she's into that kind of stuff.
I don't know if Rory would handle that well.
Yeah, and I wouldn't take her but that wasn't scary.
Not at all.
I didn't feel like. I think it's just something she would enjoy. So I think I'm going to do that for
riding
her
the
birthday.
trolley alone is fun.
Yes, an experience all in itself.
Okay, well, thank you for that. That is
You're
good.
welcome.
Just good sage advice.
Yes. But anyways, on that episode of American Horror Stories, like I said, they had the ring. They didn't call it that. They called it something else. But yeah, it was but it was ghosts with unfinished business.
Oh.
So
people see creepy stuff on those cameras all the time.
Would show up. So
Fresno Nightwalkers.
Yeah, for sure.
I would die.
Yeah. Another reason I don't get any of that kind of stuff. I don't want to know what's going on out here at night. Thank you very much.
We don't even have a doorbell. We're just don't want anyone.
We have a doorbell
to come to our house.
Please don't ring it though. My dog loses her mind. Yeah. I mean, she loses her mind if you knock too, but please don't ring the doorbell.
So how do we alert you, Amy?
You text me when you're.
That's exactly.
You're like, I'm here. I'm not getting out of the car.
Well,
it's hot.
You can
just come to me.
You can track my
location. Yeah, we've shared our locations with each other.
Yeah, in case we die or are abducted. I mean, we're not dumb.
Or in case you're my daughter and just stalk me. I took Sage to a movie 2 days ago since she's starting daycare. And I asked Keaton if she wanted to go. She's like, well, what are you guys doing? I said, we're just going to the movie, Keaton.
Yeah.
I'm like, Well, no, I don't want to go then because it was like
kid
DC
movie.
Super Pets or whatever. Super cute movie.
It's
by the
got
way.
The Rock and...
Yeah, The Rock and Kevin Hart.
I love them so much.
Well, then Sage was getting kind of antsy and my mom was crabby and I could tell she needed a break. So I'm like, well, let's just go early and we'll go to the general store and get some Pixie Stick stuff because she loves Pixie Sticks during the movie. And so we're at the general store. Keaton calls me. Where are you? I'm like, at the general store. You said you weren't shopping. You were just going to the movie.
You're like, what?
I'm like, shut up. First of all, I don't owe you any explanation. But yeah, she was totally stalking me on Life 360 and knew that we weren't just going straight to the movie theater.
Keaton has got to get out.
She does. I'm like, what did you want from the general store, Keaton?
Right.
We've been here 500 times. It's always the same stuff.
Right. Do you want a Pixie Stick?
I got a Pixie Sticks and Sage needed a new sticker book because the last sticker book I bought her here was... She used all of her stickers.
Yes.
I got her a Melissa and Doug sticker book for $5. Calm down.
Do you want one?
Yeah. Would you like me to bring you one, darling? It was just, but the idea.
Can you imagine being a teenager stalking your mom's look? Like, we would have never.
It's my life. It's my life. Sometimes, though, she'll call me and or text me like, are you okay? Life 360 says you're like in someone's backyard. I'm like, no, I'm on Highway 61. What do you...
It's so weird.
So she does panic too. It scares her. But yeah, that was... I was like, how dare you?
You're my child.
Sage's getting ready to start daycare.
Just don't even know.
This is our last hurrah.
It's true.
She's had the COVID. She just needs...
And was really sick, poor baby.
Yeah.
My kids never got anything, which is a blessing. I'll take it. So, okay, well... Today I'm going to talk to you about the Greenbriar ghost. Oh. I don't even know how I found this topic, but I did. Whatever. Here's a funny picture.
Accidentally, I'm sure.
I don't know. It's just funny.
Oh,
it's like it's like
a statue come to life.
And a woman grabbing her breast, a Victorian woman. I don't what is she doing?
What is by her head?
Like a pillow?
Oh.
Like she's laying in a bed.
Oh, I thought that was something. That's a janky pillow.
Totally janky pillow.
I would wake up unable to walk if I had to sleep on that pillow.
Yeah, we just thank God we live in this era. This story's from AppalachianHistory.net.
Yeah.
I said Appalachian.
That's the accurate way.
It feels right too.
Because they say if it
Appalachia.
like you're throwing an Appalachia, you're saying it correctly.
Yeah, because Appalachian does sound right to my brain because that's the way we've always said it incorrectly. Yes. Appalachian. All right, so here we go. This is a story by Dave Tabler. He's like a little cute guy there. Okay, moving on. On January 23rd, 1897. That's a 7. And January 23rd, 1897. Elva Zana Heister Schuh. That's a lot.
What a name.
A lot of names. Why do you need that many?
Elva
Zana.
And Elva's what you went with? Maybe it has every single letter of the alphabet in it.
It really very well may. Elva Zana Heister Schuh of Lewisburg, West Virginia, a bride of 3 months, was found dead at the bottom of the stairs leading to the second floor of the log house where she lived with her new husband.
Michael Peterson.
Right?
It's all ringing a bell.
It is. Oh my gosh. Her body was discovered by a neighbor, an 11-year-old boy, who did chores for her. That's so sad, the trauma. Her case remains to this day a one-of-a-kind event in the American judicial system. The only case in which the word of a ghost helped to solve a crime and convict a murderer. Well, that's not true because I've told another story where that happened.
Was it this one? I hope
it wasn't this one. Because there's one where there was like that lady who worked somewhere and her neighbor
she
came
got
over.
Possessed or whatever, right? Didn't she get possessed by a ghost and gave like the details?
Yeah,
to her crime?
it was like her husband's like employee or something, wasn't it? Because it was the lady who the guy came to help her do something in her house and killed her.
Yeah,
help her like set up her TV or something.
Yeah.
Well, this is not that story. A state highway marker several miles south of town sums up Schuh's amazing story. It says, interred in a nearby cemetery is Zana Hester Schuh. Well, what happened to Elva? I'm very confused. Her death in 1897 was presumed natural until her spirit appeared to her mother to describe how she was killed by her husband, Edward. Autopsy on the exhumed body verified the apparition's account. Edward was found guilty of murder and sentenced to state prison. that really just told the whole story. Spoiler. So that's all on a highway marker.
God, what a large marker.
A lot of words. Here she is.
I wonder how many people
She
pull
looks
over to
so
read it.
pissed.
She does. Her bangs are real, like Dakota Johnson.
They really are. She's got a giant bun. She just looks mad. All the photos of people back then, you had to sit
I don't
for
think you were allowed to smile.
and you had to sit for like 25 minutes.
Yeah,
or
you
something.
couldn't move or it would ruin the photo.
Yeah. So upon
How did they ever get a photo of a child?
I guess they just like beat them probably until they, do you really want to know?
No,
You don't.
probably not.
Upon finding the dead woman, Andy Jones, the neighbor boy, there was no hood, ran back to his home where he informed his mother and then continued on to the blacksmith shop where Edward Shue was working. When told of the situation, Shue appeared in great anguish, ran to his home, gathered his dead wife into his arms, and directed local doctor and coroner, Dr. George Knapp, be called.
Oh my God. Knapp?
Yes.
That's the guy from Skinwalker. What are the odds?
That's weird. Weird.
It is weird.
This is very dramatic, though. He's like grabbing his wife. Ah! Call George Knapp of Skinwalker Ranch immediately.
Tell him just to go through that portal. He can come here to the 1800s.
But don't bring that butthole again. I can't.
No, all that
see.
smelly Sasquatch.
Who sits in the trees.
Trees.
Just lounging about.
Sasquatch.
Oh my God. There's an Instagram called Bigfoot Bay. And it's like a girl, Bigfoot, that dances all the time. It's great. You should follow it. Okay. What a loser. I am. Okay, let's see there. He's so dramatic. After a brief examination, Dr. Knapp concluded that Zana died of an everlasting faint.
What?
I.e. a heart
Wasn't that
attack.
death? An everlasting faint?
Yeah, that's how she
is
died,
death.
Amy. God.
But that is death.
I know.
It's the faint that never ends.
It's just the faint that never ends. It
I
means a
don't
heart
understand.
attack.
Oh.
It's like, then call it a heart attack. But whatever.
Yeah.
God.
Did they not call it a heart attack?
I guess not. They called it everlasting faint.
That's fancier.
It's so dramatic, though. Everything was
That's
drama.
so long to write on the death certificate,
There's
too.
not enough room. Not at all.
What's
So many
that?
weird sounds. Someone's downstairs.
Strangers.
Is it the cousins? We don't know. How are we going to get out of here without seeing them?
Oh, it'll be so awkward. You can count on
Damn,
it.
are our shoes down there?
Yeah.
Crap, we'll have to stop and put them on. Okay.
What else were we going to do? Jump out the window?
Yes.
We didn't need to go retrieve
Climb
our
down.
shoes.
Climb-
Shimmy down the...
I think there's a roof right there.
Chris, you might need to replace your guttering. We just shimmied.
We would actually die. We would easily fall and die.
100%.
And then they'd be like, they died of an everlasting faint.
Well, their own stupidity.
Oh, great times. All right, here we go. Moving back to the everlasting faint. The body was prepared for burial, with Shue assisting in the preparation of her body for burial. So the husband's helping. Sketchy. That's suspicious, for sure.
Yes. That poor cow died of the everlasting taint.
That's from last episode. No one's going to remember what that means. We do, because it was 20 minutes ago.
Sorry, that just came to me.
Dude, I don't know what kind of sadistic alien is cutting out someone's butthole. It is just unacceptable.
It is.
Unacceptable. Ugh. So appalled. And how come no humans getting abducted? I mean, they talk about probing all the time, but no butthole cutting.
Well,
You know. Oh.
it could be. Maybe there's humans just aren't being returned.
Or maybe they're just being sewed back up.
Could be.
What do they think they're going to find? I don't know. Anyway.
I don't need. Well,
Butthole girl.
yeah.
So unfortunate.
Maybe.
Fortunate. Why?
That's so sad.
Oh my gosh, she's a mother.
Yeah. Most hated man on the internet. You
Ugh,
suck.
you
I don't remember
do.
his name or else I'd call
Me
him
neither.
out.
He's just grody. Oh my gosh. Don't let people talk you into doing things you're not comfortable with.
But we're not victim shaming.
We are.
She was a victim.
She was.
Sure.
And she was like a child practically. Yeah. Or maybe she was. I don't recall how old she was.
Manipulated.
She was. I'm sorry. Yes. I'm also like, I feel bad that she went on the show, that now all of us who didn't know who she was, now we know. You know? It's,
yeah.
But she got her story told.
That's right.
Hopefully they paid her money.
She got to tell her side of the story.
That's exactly right.
Know?
That's exactly right. Okay, there we go. The body was prepared for burial. with the husband helping doing it, and placing her in the casket, always handling her head. Weird.
So this was prior to the exhumation. Was she exhumed?
Yes, she was exhumed later. So this is prior to that.
We get so sidetracked.
And I did a whole recap at the top. But it's not a recap because I hadn't capped anything.
It was a summary.
Thank you. It was a pre-cap. So yeah, he's like helping prepare her body, putting her in the casket, always handling her head, which is weird. So we'll get to that, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I've never read this story.
He played like that urban legend or that story where the lady's head's tied on with a ribbon.
Red ribbon.
Or scarf. Maybe it's a scarf.
It's red.
Remember. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's great. And then her head falls off. It's like amazing. Like, I had that book
what are you using that's so strong that's literally holding a decapitated
book
head
as a child. That's why we are this way.
Exactly.
I can't remember what other stories were in there, but it was not right. And they were all drawn kind of like
like whimsical.
Right, like Frog and Toad books.
Yes.
It's like, why?
It just really pulls you in.
It does.
Like, oh.
It's like Frog and Toad. No, it's not.
Happening? Oh, her head's falling off.
Just rolled away. And then the husband's like really upset about it. Well, you did it, sir.
Yes.
Leave her alone. Leave her ribbon be. What are we talking? Does anyone else know what this is?
Probably not.
Okay. All right. He placed a folded sheet on one side of her head and an article of clothing on the other side of her head, which he said would make her rest easier. Bro, she's dead. She don't care.
Or how about a pillow?
Yeah. Also known as a pillow.
Here's a sheet and an article of clothing.
Good, they've got her a travel pillow.
Yes. Or a wedge pillow.
Well, he wanted something on either side of her head, you know? You just think of a pillow under top.
Well, I was just thinking of a wedge. It like props you. Yeah. Kind of.
God. She's dead. She doesn't care how she's resting. Okay. In addition, he tied a large scarf around her neck and examined tearfully that it had been Zana's favorite. Suspicious.
Yeah.
Zana was taken to the home of her mother, Miss Mary Jane Hester, on nearby Big Sewell Mountain. When the casket was opened, again, like, gosh, can someone put her in the ground by now? How many days
How
is
many
this?
different wakes are we having?
This is not...
Why is she people should be traveling to come see her. She should not be traveling to go to them.
It's like a traveling circus.
Yes.
And you know they didn't like
processional.
They didn't like embalm people, I wouldn't imagine. So
no.
Okay. When the casket was open, Shu always remained at the head of the casket. So like anytime it's open, the husband's like, excuse me, let me get up here. The next day, her body was buried in the little cemetery on the hilltop. Nothing more was thought of the death other than what was usual for a sudden death of anyone. That makes no sense. Moving on. Within a month of the burial, however, the dead girl's mother was telling neighbors that Zana's spirit had appeared 4 nights in a row to accuse her blacksmith husband of her violent death, to tell on him, to set the record straight about her dying. Shu had been abusive and cruel, she said, and had attacked her in a fit of rage, savagely breaking her neck. That's why she needed the pillow.
Yeah, because her neck would be a bit of
crap.
But even then,
don't you get stiff?
Is it rigor mortis?
Yeah. Maybe it was so soon. I have no idea how long it takes rigor mortis.
But I guess like rigor mortis is just
your muscles.
So maybe you don't have enough. I don't know.
You've got muscles in your neck though, because you know those like super strong bodybuilder guys who actually like I've heard stories where they break their neck, but they don't even know
about rigor mortis. Maybe he just assumed.
Yeah, he's a blacksmith.
Her head was floppy after I broke it, so. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. That's horrifying. Word spread quickly that these visions had convinced Mary Jane, the mom, that the husband, who called himself Edward, but was really named Erasmus Stribling Trout Shrew.
him.
It's the worst name. Ed was known as Trout.
Why would you? It wasn't Trout out in the back?
No wonder he goes by Edward.
Can't, he's a terrible piece of garbage, but can't fault him for that.
Nope. Erasmus Stribbling Trout Shoe.
Who was married to Elva Zana, whatever her name was. What a pair.
God, I'm so glad we only have 3 names typically now. Yeah. What a blessing. Oh, God. So
and relatively
normal, right?
By all accounts.
Yep. So the mom is like saying that the husband killed her. Mary Hester and her brother-in-law, Johnson Hester, went to Lewisburg prosecutor John A. Preston, who first disbelieved the story, but after several hours of questioning Mrs. Hester, the mom, became convinced that there was a basis for an investigation. Dr. Knapp was consulted, and he agreed that he might have been mistaken in his diagnosis. Well, yeah, because just like an everlasting faint.
Did you autopsy her with the scarf on her neck?
Did you look at her at all?
What are your credentials, George Knapp
of Skinwalker
Ranch? Just saying.
He's probably like, oh, that's a stupid woman. She probably died of the everlasting faint. What a piece of crap. They're so dramatic.
So hysterical. Oh, that time.
And she couldn't even take off a scarf. Ever.
Or get rid of the bedsheet and article of clothing. Well, I examined her in her coffin, probably, as she's traveling the countryside. He's a terrible medical examiner.
He really is. Because there's got to be some, like, bruising.
Yeah, for sure.
If you break someone's neck, good God. Wow, Dr. Knapp. I hope his medical license was revoked.
For sure. He stinks at his job.
Yeah.
Or at least don't let him be the medical examiner anymore.
Or I wouldn't want him to be a doctor.
No, I wouldn't want him to be my doctor either, but I mean, if he's going to
go back to Skinwalker Ranch.
Yes, please.
It's where you belong.
Do you, whatever it is you do there.
Looking at cow rectums.
Yes, go back to that. You're more suited for that, George Knapp.
Our podcast is now just about cow rectums. That's all, period.
That's more just devoted to that.
It's just so funny. Imagining an alien with like this very super technological equipment.
That's what you come back for.
Coming and like lasering out a butthole. Like, you don't want to look at, like, Mount Rushmore and how we made... Wow.
You gotta have the technology to just send like a little camera drone up in there.
For sure.
With all the cows'
Aren't
knowledge.
they amazed at, like, the Great Pyramids? No, just
Stonehenge? Well, they built the pyramids and Stonehenge. They don't care.
And probably
about
Mount Rushmore. All those presidents are probably aliens.
But that quizzical cowiness just gets us every time.
I mean, it's...
We don't understand.
I'm sure a cow rectum is very large also. You know, I've never stood behind one, but
I wouldn't advise it.
Cows are very big.
Their cow patties are large.
Hey,
wherever you live, do they have cow chip bingo? Because in our neck of the woods, it's a thing. Dude, if the cow poops on your number, you win money. It's true.
Is their poop just very liquidy?
No.
It's got to be like
chip.
No. It's like liquid that forms a chip.
No,
do you think that whole thing
would run everywhere?
But it just dries quickly.
No, because they have
that whole giant thing.
Think of like when a horse poops.
It's like plop, plop, plop.
But it's big. So why aren't they lasering horse butts?
Why the cow?
Why the cow?
There's so many animals on Earth.
A horse is fast, though.
Cows are very
Cows
confused.
Are just like
constantly
They're
confused.
just chewing the grass. Like, what's happening back there? I don't know. And they sleep standing up, so it's real easy to cow tip.
Oh my God, cows are so funny. The other day I was just driving home and there was just a cow in the ditch. Like, not, you know,
well, great. It probably just had its anus removed. You should have stopped and helped it.
I was just like, where's its home? Go home, cow. Oh, it had just been sodomized by an alien. Wow. Moving on. We're sorry. We will never stop talking about this ever, probably. So if you're not into that, we're sorry. This is the end of the road for you. Bye.
Nice knowing you.
No one's listening anymore anyway.
That isn't true. We've been, our page shares. Thank you.
Yeah.
We didn't even thank individually the people who shared.
Because now we're going back to our paranormal memes. That's just what our page is now. But hey, people are sharing it,
shares,
getting follows.
And it's so funny because I always just get like, a notification, so I click on it. And it's
always
a stupid TikTok video.
Well, because it shows all our shares.
Yeah,
and then I never can figure out how to get to the one that they actually share. Which it's always just going to be Bigfoot nipples. Like, that's the number one most shared. That is horrifying also.
You don't even want to know what kind of rabbit holes we have to go down to find those also to share on our page. It's disturbing. Except that one I finally took down because everybody was coming at me. You mean Gen Z? I'm like,
yeah. Sorry, I started
I
that.
didn't create the meme. I just shared it.
We didn't have to take it down.
No, some other lady was like coming hard. Like,
calm
God,
down.
She's like, you guys need to get your generations right. And sorry if you're a listener, but it was just like
well, write a book about it.
Yeah,
then.
We just find funny memes related to paranormal stuff.
Well, and I
and
just
share
like
them.
to give Amy a hard time always.
And I'm Gen X, so you can say whatever you want about us. We don't care. Like, we don't get offended by that.
That's their whole shtick.
Yeah, I guess I just wasn't prepared for the
onslaught of Gen.
Millennial
because we're
hatred.
not Gen Z. We don't want to be Gen Z. We're millennials, and we're okay with it. I'm an elder millennial,
and I figured like. My son technically is a millennial, right, Brecken?
I don't know.
He's 20, almost 21. I think he's a younger millennial. So he probably doesn't know why.
But then who's Gen
Z?
Z?
I think Gen Z would be more like the twins.
So the cutoff must be right in there. Because I'm like, I was born in 1987, and I think like 86 is the start of millennials, or maybe even 87, like right in there. I don't know why. Who knows? Who makes that up? Like, who decides? Honestly. Okay. Well, back to the shoes.
Yes.
Okay, let's see here. Dr. Knapp was consulted, and he agreed that he might have been mistaken. An investigation into Shu's background revealed that he had served a term in the penitentiary. Yeah. And had been married twice previously. And both wives had died under strange circumstances.
Well, gee.
He is my confused.
George Knapp, did you do any homework?
Right. One wife was supposed to have died from a broken neck when she fell from a haystack. What? Okay.
I'm assuming a hayloft.
I know, it's like, how high?
George Knapp, did you call that one too?
How high was the haystack? God.
And this was back in the, they didn't have like
machinery
and stuff for,
no.
or did they? I don't know.
No.
But even then, they're not making like, you would have to fall a couple stories.
Right, and like even a hay bale, like a giant one, a circle one, you're not going to break your neck.
What if it was that tall she couldn't
it.
have gotten on it?
Right. Unless it's haystack.
It's got to be a hayloft. It must
be a haystack.
Hayloft.
It could be like stairs.
Well, yeah.
But still, I mean, I don't know. Weird.
No.
Either way, it didn't happen.
No.
Because he killed her.
He killed her, for sure.
The other wife died while helping Shu to repair a chimney. I said chimney. Chimney.
Chimnea. Or what are the things you put outside? What? They end in an EA.
What?
Like the ones outside.
It's like a chimney, but outside?
Yeah, but it's spelled in CHIMNEA.
Nope. But I'm going to go
Is it still
chimnea.
pronounced chimney? Chimnea.
Chimnea. So fancy. He was on top of the chimney, and his wife was placing the rocks in a basket with a rope attached to it. And as the basket was drawn up, the basket turned and dropped the rock on the head of his wife.
Okay, that's...
Why is he taking rocks up there? Why is he taking rocks?
Why is it above her head,
What kind
too?
of... Well, because they're doing this. You know, she's raising the basket up to him. He's up here. She's raising the basket.
But why is it directly above her head? You would think
Right.
your arms are outstretched.
Yeah, you wouldn't be.
George Knapp.
And how big are these rocks?
Yeah.
And why are you putting rocks down a chimney? I mean, I know nothing about chimneys. Is that a way you clean them?
Or are they like repairing it?
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe.
I'm just imagining they like drop it
They're
down.
putting new rocks
Hope
in.
it cleans it. Who's the chimney sweep from Mary
Let's see
Poppins?
if it goes down or not.
Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't throw rocks down it. He actually sweeps it with a broom.
Giant broom thing. What a terrible job.
Yeah, that would be.
Honestly.
Is that even like a profession anymore?
I'm sure there are people who professionally clean them to prevent fires, but you're not like sweeping it like that.
No,
they have
sure
machinery.
You have like a vacuum thing.
Because that would have been terrible to do.
I should probably have. We've lit in our fireplace maybe twice. And
you've littened it? I wasn't going to do it.
By the time we get to episode 3,
hey, I'm sweating.
Words,
I can hardly hold my phone. My hands are so literally wet.
Anywho.
Let's get this over with.
Let's do. I got to get to Walgreens.
An exhumation was ordered and an inquest jury was assembled. The Greenbriar Independent reported that Trout Shoe, now they're just calling him Trout because they're so mad at him. It's great. Vigorously complained about the exhumation, but it was made clear to him that he would be forced to attend the inquest if he did not go willingly. In rebuttal, he replied that he knew that he would be arrested, but they will not be able to prove I did it. This careless statement indicated that he at least had knowledge that his wife had been murdered. The autopsy findings, not by Dr. Knapp, were quite...
thank goodness.
Right, were quite damning to Shue. An independent report on March 9th said that the discovery was made that the neck was broken and the windpipe smashed. It says mashed, though, which I think is weird.
Ooh.
So I'm going to say smashed.
So that's how they know she didn't break her neck falling down the stairs.
Absolutely.
That would not smash your windpipe.
No way.
Or mash it.
On the throat were the marks of fingers, indicating that she had been choked. The neck was dislocated between the first and second vertebrae. Totally bad at his job. The ligaments were torn and ruptured. The windpipe had been crushed at a point in front of the neck. Yeah, he didn't even look.
So maybe that's why her head would have been floppy then. If everything's torn, it can't get, constrict.
Yeah.
I don't know.
and I'm just
making that up.
Yep, that's exactly right,
But I think
Amy.
if you, tear, you're at Achilles tendon size, imagine it,
so gross.
it's got to be repaired.
Yeah.
George Knapp
literally didn't look at her. He didn't look at her. He didn't even look at her. He just said faint.
Yeah, he's faint of heart or whatever.
Everlasting faint. It's like a gobstopper, but really bad.
Did he even, cut her open and,
no.
look at her heart?
No way.
Okay.
Because, think about it. You'd be looking at her neck.
Yeah.
Well, that scarf is still there. They were like, leave the scarf on. She loves it. If you take it off, she will be so sad. Leave the scarf on. And he's
Understand? George is like, whatever.
Fine. Yeah.
I get paid $1 shilling a month for this job. I don't care.
$1 shilling?
I don't know.
$1 shilling a month. It's hilarious. I'm gonna pee. It's so funny. Oh god, because I don't think shillings were even used in the United States. I don't know. It's so funny to imagine.
What was used? I guess a penny. A penny a month.
Yeah, I mean, money we use.
Well, I don't know. For some reason, this just went to England. Where does this take place?
West Virginia. The home of the wild and wonderful whites.
Oh, how did I not? Oh, yeah, you started out saying Appalachian.
It's so funny. Okay, I have one paragraph left. On June 22nd, oh God, I just hit play on this video. On June 22nd, 1897, the jury returned a verdict of guilty after only 1 hour and 10 minutes of deliberation. The accounts in the Independent, that's like a newspaper or something, made clear that Shue was convicted of the murder of his third wife on circumstantial evidence and not because of a ghost testimony. He was sentenced to life in the state prison. Following a foiled lynching attempt a few days later, he was taken by train to the state prison in Moundsville, where he died on the 1st of March, 1900. So he died just 3 years later. Good riddance.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Trout.
Oh, God, I'm so hot. Okay.
What is a trout even good for? Do people eat
Absolutely
trout?
nothing.
Trout is the worst of the fish.
Absolutely nothing. Isn't that a song?
I don't know. Follow us on all of our
Oh my
social
God.
medias. Comment on our crap. Keep sharing our pages. Bye.